Yo, what's going on? It's another episode of the 3% Show. I'm your host, Jay Davis, chilling in the room with Miss Lane right here to my left. Again, thank you for tuning in. I think it's going to be an interesting show, insightful show, and just a regular conversation. Again, this is the 3% Show, where I believe people will tell you 97% of their truth, and that's admirable, but the 3% that's unspoken normally holds the most power in your life. It gears you in a different direction, and that's the freedom that you get. So, Miss Lane, how you doing today?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
Oh, life's a beautiful struggle. I'm just living it. Mm-hmm. For those who don't know, I ran across this young lady while being on my homeboy show, Sweat Talks, and she had some interesting thoughts and viewpoints, and it was very relaxed and more, and I just wanted to highlight her, not for what was said on the show necessarily, but it made me think about other things. But before we get started, Miss Lane, can you tell us a little about yourself? Because you're sitting there cool. You're straight looking like Goose off of Top Gun. You in the house.
Well, I'm used to talking to people and speaking and things like that, so I feel like I'm in my element. But I am in the education field. Mm-hmm. I am the product of two productive people. Dad was was in the military, retired from the VA. He is a pastor. My mom, retired school teacher, was missionary. I have 4 older siblings. I'm the only girl. Of course, I am the youngest. Not much to my bringing up, but it did give me my foundation on my beliefs and things like that.
Absolutely.
Graduated from the one and only Prairie View A&M University.
Where was that again?
Prairie View A&M University, where they produce productive people.
I got to go to the homecoming. I don't know about productive people.
It's an experience, and you need to put it on your bucket list.
Absolutely. Yes. The old heads out there.
Yes, but that's where I received my bachelor's in education, my master's in educational leadership, and also my master's in counseling.
Okay. So are you originally from Houston or?
I'm originally from Temple, Texas. Yes, that is the country. It's Central Texas. Basically, I said the country, but it's actually military. It's a tri-area where it's like Fort Hood, Killeen, Temple, Belton, all that together.
Okay.
And that's actually how my family got to Texas. My family are not Texas natives. They're from Alabama and North Carolina.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. The cold drink place.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Wash your hair with rainwater in Alabama.
Yes, the red dirt and all that.
Red clay eating.
Yes.
So, again, the reason why I brought you on the show is because I was enlightened by some of the things, and a few of the things that I wanted to discuss is because I did want a female's point of view, a woman's point of view. Mm-hmm. In today's time, how does it feel being a black woman in today's time after the election and after the shift as far as Congress and rights? How do you feel right now? Because I took it personal how black men were speaking in regards to having a woman president that sounded different than when Hillary ran, emphasizing the blackness. I felt saddened by just the ignorance I was hearing spewed when people say they voted for the lesser of evil. Because in my mind, Kamala Harris must have been Satan that just is an African American. It's so much that went into the fact of being black or what's not considered black. But after that's done, how do you feel? Are you exhausted? Because I'm exhausted for black women at this point.
I'm not just exhausted for black women. I'm exhausted for my people, period. When black men rallied, to not vote for Kamala, it was like a gut punch. And then not even just black men, but even if black men that I knew personally, it's like, well, how do you think about me then as a black woman? That was the question that rendered in my mind. And it's funny how like our people self-sabotage. Just it's the crab mentality, I don't want you to move up because you did this, this, and this.
Right.
But when you are in a certain situation, whether she, put a lot of black men in jail or things like that.
Which the numbers added up to be incorrect.
Right.
People still ran with the ignorance.
Exactly. But you know how that is. You do one thing wrong, you're going to live that one thing that you did wrong for the rest of your life compared to all the things you've done right, to make that up. But my whole thing was, it's like, why do you want to do this to yourself? You were raised by a black woman. Most raised by a black woman. Are you saying she wouldn't be fit to lead anything? She molded
Correct.
you into the, person that you are today.
And clearly more educated than the frat boys that's been winning.
Exactly.
And it ties into, for me, when I vote for the future, I pay it forward. So now we're looking at situations where women's body rights are taken away.
Yes.
And if you're a father that has a daughter, like essentially, are you voting for yourself, or are you thinking about your future, your offsprings? And it says a lot to a young lady who might be aware of things or naturally see things change, especially in the education system, dealing with special needs and even teachers. So.
Right. And I just wish people would get out of the right now and start looking at the bigger picture. Like, I'm not here to gratify the right now. I need to know, how is my future going to be? How's the future of the people coming up under me going to be? And when it comes to politics, people are looking at the right now, the self-gratification of what can happen right now. Oh, I can get another stimulus check. Things like that.
Right.
The ignorance of this of the fact. So my whole thing is, and then you complain after, but you complain afterwards. But you voted for this person, or you didn't vote at all.
Or you didn't vote at all, and that goes for them.
And so my thing is, I wish that we look further than the right now to see, like, okay, and then actually read on things like, this is what's going to happen if this law, if this,
Project 2025.
Exactly,
I mean, we gave them the blueprint, put it out there.
Put it
Kamala
out there.
ran on it.
Yes.
We as a people ran on it.
Right.
So
why is my rent so high? Why can't I get a house? But with Kamala, she was saying, I'll give you $20,000 to get a new house for you first-time home buyers. What are you getting now?
And please, ladies and gentlemen, understand this isn't a tit for tat. This is truly how the black experience is from a woman's point of view. You know what I'm saying? Because as men, I've had conversations, disheartening, some great conversations. Can agree on certain things, but again, this conversation, you might know somebody else who feels a certain way that don't even want to discuss because it hasn't been a safe place to talk. So the second thing I want to go on, and I appreciate your words on that, is a lot of times we get red flag podcasts, conversations, clickbait, everything else. What I would love to know is, even it doesn't matter from stemming when you were younger or as you went through life, because I'm not going to ask you how old you are, but this is my biggest thing. I'll be 48 in a few months. And in my mind, we're supposed to pay things forward. I feel like all you hear are red flag conversations, red flag podcasts. Can you enlighten us as far as your knowledge of your experience? What are green flags that women should look for in themselves first? And then leading to, what does a green flag look like if you decide to date men or whatever the case might be? But what are green flags in today's time with everything being masked by social media and them telling you who you're supposed to be?
So you are right. We always talk about what went wrong or, what is wrong instead of talking about what worked and passing on that knowledge to what worked, or how, can you get to what worked. I was talking to somebody else, I can't remember, and this was in terms of education, not necessarily relationship-wise. There was a young brother trying to figure out how to get electrical certification, talking to this other older brother about it, and black man about it. And the older black man did not want to pass down the knowledge. He was basically like, get it how you live. Yes, gatekeeping. But would always complain about the struggles that he had in getting his, license or certification. And so I asked him, I said, why would you not, share how you got there, the positive aspects?
Right.
Because in a young person's mind, these young people nowadays, for one, they already believe, well, that was your experience. It ain't going to be like that for me.
Exactly.
That's their mentality. I'm not gonna go through nothing. That was back in your day, where you had to walk on one foot through the snow and all that stuff. I don't have to
Uphill,
do
both ways.
yes,
Yeah.
And so I said it would benefit them more to tell them how you can do this, how you did it, and what ways to go, and give them the resources.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, because as our people in Black, society, when we keep knowledge, to me that's omission. And you're taking away choices
to the grave.
Yes.
Generation, because it's not necessarily generational curse. We're not living in generation just choosing to be at its worst.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Some things can be healed, some things can be changed around, but if you actively choose an ignorant route, you can't blame nobody but yourself, because everything is open book. It's an open book test nowadays, and I don't understand how we're still flunking.
Exactly.
So with what you were just saying, what would you speak life into a young lady who's willing to listen, or what are things that you would say from the evolution of the late 1900s? Not going to say your age, dealing with the current situation where, again, we went to school, we had nothing to find out information and things of that nature. Now we're flunking with MacBook Pros in the school. So what kind of encouraging green flags would you give to a young lady who might be between the ages of 15 or 21? What experiences or should they look for within themselves while in the society?
I would say don't wait on anything. And I do preach this. If you want it, start working on it now. You want your own business. You want to be, an educator. You want to be an architect, whatever. Start working on it now. Don't wait until you get into college. Don't start, until you get to your senior year. You start working on that now, because, the sooner you get into
free
that,
knowledge
you get free
before you have
knowledge.
to pay for college
yes,
and all those things.
Exactly. And then another thing too, is finance. In school, we're not taught finance at all. We take economics, but we're not
pass a test, but self-application sometimes is different.
So right now, get into a Roth. Talk to your parents about that. Get into, do you have life insurance? Because when you're young is when you have life insurance, not when you're old. That's the misconception. That is the misconception. When you are young, that's when you need life insurance, because you're not expected to die at a younger age. So, and that's a big way that these people get money and build their generational wealth. They get these big life insurance policies on each other. And then when that person passes,
they're leaving something. And it's more than a house.
Exactly. And it's passed on to the next generation, But we think about, let's get a GoFundMe because we don't have life insurance, or let's get this Gerber baby,
Yeah.
But, teach real finance to people, because we're always taught you're going to have to pay this fine. You got to pay this ticket. We teach that real hard. Don't get caught by the police or anything like that, because you'll go to jail. We always teach the consequences. We don't never teach the precautions of anything.
I just watched this TikTok yesterday, and it was these parents listening to their kid, and the kid was like, well, I don't want to be in trouble all the time. So can you tell me like what I can't do so I don't have to be in trouble, because I don't want to break the rules.
Right.
So, and just like you're saying, financial education has always been there. And I feel like even at my age, because I'm just now getting into the financial literacy thing, and it's no excuse. I can't say because my mom didn't know. No, if you want to be a millionaire, you're going to learn how to be a millionaire. So there's no excuse. But I just think it's going to be cool when we finally have an avenue like you have free libraries where if people genuinely care for the community, they can literally teach finances and more. What would you tell a young lady experiencing life, dealing with her body, the decisions of to be seen, to not be seen, the insecurities, how to navigate this world with social media versus traditional, what they might feel at home? Are there any encouraging things that you can say?
Definitely. And it all starts with self-love and self-image. And when you build up that, a young lady, and to be honest with you, a lot of times people think that it takes a woman to build up self-worth and self, love in another woman. Like your mom teaches you that. My mom didn't teach me that. Both of my parents were in my life. They're still together, but it was my dad that taught me that. He was the one, oh, you're so beautiful, told me that all the time.
Value system from him, and he was the first man to love you, say you're beautiful, but know that you're intelligent too.
Right.
Okay.
He's the one that built confidence within myself, because I was always, back in the day in the 80s and 90s.
Back in the gap.
Back in the gap. Being thick was not in style. It was not in style. You had the 90s body, which was like the Holly Berrys, the Stacey Dashes. They were not thick. They were,
I grew up in the projects. We had thick chicks. Government chase, house baggers. No, just playing. Okay.
Everybody, and if you look, because even on Instagram, sometimes it runs across in my feed, R&B, late R&Bs by this year. This song would have been 20 years old or something like that.
Right.
And so then you look back and like, dang, they were like,
that was the imagery.
That was the imagery. And so being a, thick,
full and fine.
Yeah, I was not secure in myself, because that wasn't what was in.
What you can visually see.
Yes.
Videos, movies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Everybody was, thin as a pencil, and, that was considered fine.
The definition of fine for black people, because we know that white people were the models.
Yes.
The top tier, quote unquote, imagery.
Right.
So that's why we had Jet magazine, and they had a few curves in Jet.
A few, but it wasn't like it is today. I seen some rib cage. Right, yes.
I seen a few xylophones. Yeah, I seen a few of them rib cages.
But it was nothing like it is today, in today's times. And so being young and seeing that, and then looking at everybody else around, like, So my dad taught me, be your own person. And when I talk to my young ladies, I tell them the same thing. Stop following the fad.
Find out who you are
first. Find out who you are first. Yes. Okay. And if somebody isn't accepting of you, fuck them. I'm sorry. But go on about, because it's not about what somebody accepts from you. It's about how you feel within yourself. And so I always preach, self-love, self-worth. That will be the first thing to instill in them. And when you love yourself, you don't do things on purpose to disrespect yourself.
Or put up with stuff.
Yes. And so we live in a day of social media. We live in a day of TikTok, Instagram. Everybody wants to do something for social media. Even now we have what's called influencers, and, you can influence somebody positively, but what we mostly see is foolishness, as an influencer. And, we could say all day, what you put out there on the internet, that's going to last, and, that doesn't move them.
It's crazy, very real quick. That doesn't move them. I've noticed the new, not all, and I don't speak for all. This new generation is more worried about having babies and HIV. This new generations would rather get tattoos and then argue why they didn't get the job and say, well, it's acceptable everywhere. This new generation, and this is why I'm concerned about schooling, is because when I was behind for assignments a week before grades were due, I most likely am going to flunk. But this generation can make up a whole semester of work in 1 week and pass. And the real world does not work like that. Your job is going to fire you.
Right. And what's so crazy is I strongly feel like the school systems set this up, because nowadays the families depend so much on the school systems to raise their children.
And I never thought about that. The kids are at school literally for 8 hours a day.
Yes.
So you work 8 hours. That only leaves you, and you're supposed to get 8 hours worth of sleep. So that literally leaves you with no time for personal time for yourself, for your family, and more. That's crazy.
Yes.
Teachers are so important.
They're so important. They teach morals.
Even though they're supposed to go to school with being potty trained in some of these things, and the teachers have to do this nowadays. I'm sorry about that.
I mean, I could go on a tangent. I could write a book, and to me, what you just said, like when you were in school, the expectation was for you to pass within that 9 weeks, within that semester. You do the work. But there has been so many safety nets put out there that we have handicapped our kids. And their thinking now is, I don't have an urgency of, I got to do it now. I have to do it while I have the chance. It's like, it'll get done
no
regardless.
Sense of urgency.
Yes.
I remember growing up, and it's not to say I'm old or a boomer, but we had something made us excited. It was an urgency. And when dealing with life outside of sports and celebrities, we were excited to do something. I'm not seeing that anymore. I just see a generation going through the motions.
They're excited to go to prom. If you put prom over their head, then, oh no, I got to get it done. I got to get it done. But if you put graduating over their head,
that's crazy
and
work.
I've always said, if you're not on the track to graduation, you don't have all the credits that you need. I've always said prom shouldn't be an option. But you always see nowadays huge promposals, prom send-off.
The new quinceañera for culture.
Yes, it is. People getting helicopters and Rolls Royces for prom. But then and then it's graduation.
No college fund set up.
No college fund. It's barely even a celebration.
So, rotating from that, and I think this comes with the joy and the excitement. Where do you find joy at for yourself as a woman? What brings you joy, and what self-reflection do you do that makes you excited about yourself or your happy place?
I find joy in seeing other people happy. That really does something for me. I event plan on the side.
Oh, really? Well, talk about it. This is your stage. I'm just here to, I'm just here. You have the floor,
So when I see somebody, when I plan events and I get talked about all the time because they say, you look like you're not having any fun or anything like that. I'm not supposed to have fun.
But you're smiling as you talk about your joy.
Yes, because what gets me is seeing the people have a good time and hearing the people talk about it afterwards. Oh, you remember this event? Man, that was a good time. I want to do that. That right there is like I'm exuding happiness. And that's it's also my love language. I love seeing people or my partner in a place to where they're happy.
Okay.
That makes me happy.
Do you feel like it's a guilty pleasure? Well, because most 95% of the time they're trying to do the exact same for you.
Yes.
So it's kind of like.
And then I feel like, are you doing this because I did it for you type thing?
Right.
Is it genuine? I do have those moments. Or do you not want to look like the bad person in this? I do have those moments. But I can honestly say I do the same thing for my family. I want to make sure that they are good. And I know my family doesn't, reciprocate that because I did it for them. I know it's pure love.
Yeah.
So in some instances, people are going to say, do it because, they did this, kind of like a tit for tat thing.
Yeah.
You bought me a gift, I'm going to buy you a gift.
Truly, reciprocity is something that you don't have. You just learn that person.
Right.
Okay. What else brings you joy in this time?
Animals. I love animals.
What kind of animals we talking about now?
No reptiles and no nothing to do with the water except if it's a turtle. I love turtles. But anything other than that,
Okay, I gotta make sure. Now that I know you're an animal lover, because if I see something, it's getting kicked. It's getting something. I don't want you to be like, how could you?
It's crazy because I have more compassion for animals than I do people.
We just dropped another episode of the 3% Show.
For real. It's for real. It was one day, and I don't cry. I'm not a crier.
Okay.
I don't cry. And if I cry, that means it's really something that has really just got to me. I'm on my way to work, and there's this car in front of me. This is when I was an elementary counselor. There's this car in front of me, and there's this little dog running across the street. And the car did not try to avoid it. It hit the dog. Then another car hit the dog. And it was in me, like my face, my eyes welled up, and I was just like, I can't cry now. I'm almost to work. I don't want to come to work, looking like this because I'm the counselor. I'm not supposed to be,
Mm-hmm.
looking like I just boo-hoo cried and all this stuff because people going to come to me with their issues.
Right.
So I kept it together real good and, going about my day. So a teacher calls and says, hey, can you come to my room? I have a student that's having a hard time today. He just won't do anything. So I go to the room and the baby was sitting there and he was just drawing. I said, hey, what you drawing there? And he says, he looks at me, he looks at his picture and he says, oh, I saw this dog get hit by a car this morning. And I said, oh.
Not that y'all trauma bonding without.
We was trauma bonding. I said, oh, baby, come here. I said, I saw it too. And
Come on, Elmira.
I said, I saw it too. And we just boo-hooed. I said, come on, let's go to my office.
That's
and
crazy
so
work.
I could understand. And it bothered him because it was at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And it bothered him just like it bothered me, when I'm trying to, work and,
Because you never know what people go through or see in life.
Yes. And so I love, especially dogs. I love dogs. And I just feel like animals, sometimes when I come home, I don't have to hear about, nobody's day. I don't have to, hear anybody talk back or fuss. It's just unconditional love.
They're authentically themselves.
Yes, exactly.
And y'all better watch out because if dogs could talk or animals could talk, you know how many people would be divorced? You know how much dirt animals got?
Yes.
Are they really man's best friend? Because I know some dogs that done seen some things. Okay, it's a reason why they sniffing crotches. This ain't her.
That's not you.
That ain't her. Did you know, Mama? Did you know? You outside, that's her.
Right.
So in dealing with that, what are some green flags that you would encourage young women and even women currently right now? What are just some green flags that you would like to sprinkle on them? Because like I said, we in a red flag culture. And to this point, what do we have to offer as far as green flags to the youth? No matter if it's young men, but as a woman, what are green flags for you?
Pertaining to
relational wise, when you're the type, I'm not going to say what type of man do you like, because that's a personal question, but what overall for you do you feel is healthy things to look for in a relationship that may not be red? They may be red flags at first because they may not be used to them, or what are just green flags or what healthy relationships might seem like for you?
Someone that has initiative is a green flag, for one. They just do without you asking. That's a green flag. Someone that's appreciative of things that you do.
I would agree with that.
It's a very strong green flag.
We talked about that because I had to learn myself. If I don't appreciate the love language or the love that you're giving me, then it doesn't seem like I value it, and I most likely won't value it versus the way I want it interpreted for me to feel it. So I think that is a good thing to say. You have to appreciate that.
Yes, and somebody that considers your feelings is a green flag. And I posted this the other day. If we argue and you still handle and you're mad at me and you still talk to me respectfully without cursing and all that, that's the one. You don't, because no matter what mood or mindset you're in, you're still considering my feelings.
You have to be mindful of who you're dealing with.
Yes, exactly. So to me, that's really big because, and I was saying this the other day too, if I get to the point and we're together and we have an argument and I get to the point where I'm cussing you out, calling you out your name and all that, I no longer want you. I've lost all respect for you. I could care less about your feelings. Now, is it just
in that instance that you feel that way, or is that the last straw that make you be like, I'm
for me, that's
good.
The last straw. I'm good. And it's subconscious because.
So you've had conversations leading to this. This is just an explode moment.
And this is subconscious because in any other instance, I'm mindful of not talking crazy to you. Yeah. Of not hurting your feelings. And if I get to the point where I don't care about your feelings being hurt, I'm going to talk about your mama, your daddy, your bald-headed son, nappy-headed daughter. I'm going to do all that, bring all the stuff up that you did wrong, all that, and I don't no longer want you because I don't respect you no more.
Well, I guess if they earn it, and if it's went that long, then because like I said, I'm a very mellow person. I'm real chill. I put up with things that I know most dudes wouldn't. Just giving grace and giving myself grace. And sometimes, if I've been an asshole, I'm gonna give you more room. But when it's go time, it's go time. And if I know I'm in the right. Oh man, I'll do it with a smile. I want to apologize for I am an asshole by nature, but you have to bring it out of me.
Yes. And you also said another green flag, you're apologetic. I cannot stand somebody that cannot take accountability.
So women need to find somebody that's accountable for their own actions.
It needs to go both ways. Both of them need to be accountable because it's not always just one person's fault all the time.
Yeah.
And that is very big with me. Like, if you did something wrong and you know you did it, don't try to flip the script. That's what a lot of men try to do. Flip the script. I come to you with something and you know it's wrong. You did it, but you don't want to admit that you did it. And you try to flip it on me. But you did this, and this.
Right.
Wait a minute. You're told, don't avoid it. Take accountability. You did this.
You got to lay in that shit.
Yes.
Sit in your mess.
So someone that takes accountability and not only take accountability, but can, if they know that it hurt you, apologize for it, then yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. And the reason why I'm inquiring about these green flags, again, it's somebody that may hear this that needs to share it with somebody else to have a discussion. I feel like it's so much piss in the pool. Well, really, maybe you just need to get out that pool.
Right.
Maybe you need to go to another pool because there's plenty of pools around.
It is.
But evidently you want to go to this one community pool where there's going to be community piss in there, and it's crazy. What else did I want to ask you?
Come on, I'm
Miss
an open
Lane.
book. Come on.
You're an open book.
I'm an open book.
How much time I got? No, in regards to personally your upbringing where you are now, what are some key things that you would want to tell other young ladies? Not yourself, because they always ask, what would you tell yourself? What are just some key things in life from your experiences, what you've seen, not only you, but what you've grown, the era you grew up in, up until now, how it intertwines. What are some key things that you would say to a young lady that may not have that person to talk to, man or woman, or in the family, or it's not on the TV show? What are some key things to being a young woman, to being even a woman, that you would say?
I would say get it for yourself. I think a lot of times as women, sometimes we get with somebody else and then we lose ourselves.
As a woman.
And look, because I said earlier, I hate that as a man. No, I think that sometimes when we go through things in life, we get off of what we want out of life, and don't lose that. I know I have lost it for myself. When I first started off in school, in college, it was my goal to be a pharmacist. My major was biology. I double majored. Biology and chemistry were my majors. So,
sip the juice.
Yeah, I could throw you something in there, some arsenic. Never mind. That's another that's another show. But the thing is that when things started getting hard, not necessarily the classes, but life started getting hard, I veered off from that. And so I took off from school a little bit for a year or so and then came back. And so when I came back, it was like, I got to hurry up and finish because life is life and we need money. Yes, I need money. And once again, looking through life as a lens of right now. And I cannot voice that enough, is that you have to get the right now out of your mind. And I know it's not even just for young girls. It's for a lot of people.
No, I believe you. I've passed on jobs because they had commission that would have paid me great. But in my mind, I'm saying I have right now bills.
Yes.
I need this hourly job instead of investing and betting on myself. So
right.
That's real.
Invest in yourself, bet on yourself, and walk by faith. like walk by faith that you can make this happen, and this is only temporary. And so if I would have done that, not to say that I regret anything that I go through, because everything that I've been through has been a learning experience. And I've had a good life. I can't say my life has been horrible. Do I wish I went that route, as in becoming a pharmacist? Yes, I do. Looking back, but I still have a great life.
And it's the reason
hard.
why God closed those doors until you don't
Right.
look behind this door to see what you could have had. So
Exactly.
you got to keep pushing.
Exactly. But there's also a feeling of, even though I say I don't regret, there's a feeling of I wish I would have, type thing.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda.
Yes. And so don't revert back to because something seems easier.
Correct.
Keep
Take
pushing
that
through.
challenge.
Take that challenge. Push yourself. Don't, and I hate this word. I don't like using it. Mediocrity. Don't be mediocre. Because, especially being Black and being female, when you go for jobs and things like that, they're already looking at your ethnic name before they even look at you. They look at your name on the application. Who is Shaquanda?
How'd you get this position?
Yeah.
Ma'am, I have multiple degrees to be here, just like you. So why are you shocked?
And not just degreed, because a degree is a piece of paper. Are you degreed and experienced? And not only experienced, are you hardworking? Because once you get on the job, it's like, okay, we hired you. Now you don't want to do nothing. I ain't going to do this. I wasn't hired to do this. I got this degree. The degree just got you the job. How you going to keep it?
And that's what America is. America's good at taking tests to get degrees.
Right.
Versus you see other countries jumping out the windows committing suicide when they don't get their degree, and they speak 3 different languages. They're taking the hardest of the hard classes.
Right.
As we coast through. So that entitlement,
yes,
is crazy work. This whole entitlement era is crazy.
Yes.
Even dealing with me, sometimes I get in my little entitlement, but the youth and what we're supposed to do for them and what's supposed to be given to them, it's crazy. And it's disturbing too, because I don't know what the world's going to be, because they're not looking at the right now. We have work to do right now.
Yes.
To generate for even their future, because we see climate change now. It used to be a joke.
Yeah.
It used to be a movie. But now we see the decisions, and that leads me to, and I'm not going to be before you long, but that leads
Pastor.
me to say that I tell people, I ain't going to be before you long.
Come on, Baptist preacher.
But I had a thought from watching Lovecraft Country, talking to some incredible Black women, and some women are more centered and higher, speak to God and different things, astrology and more, but I thought that I treated women great, Black women. I thought I was so in tune. But after watching Lovecraft Country, the world literally designed the world for women to not have a voice, even though they could have been the most creative, most innovating, and most smart people in the room. From the laws to the tradition that everybody holds on to, a woman's supposed to be at home. We set women up for failure because we didn't have the laws in place. We didn't let them have checking accounts. We didn't let them lead firms. It's so much where I say it's hard being a Black man. And some of my friends laugh. I'm like, no, try being a Black woman.
Right.
Try being. I always ask my friends, would you rather be a man or a woman? I'm going to say man all day. Not just dealing with, the health issues, perimenopause, endometriosis, thyroids, breast cancer, cysts, tubal pregnancy, non-tubal. It's so much. Y'all got like an 80-thing list, and we got like 5.
Right. Diabetes,
right.
prostate, yeah.
So I say that to say that, ball cancer.
Yeah.
But I say that to say this. I wish more men would get over themselves about this traditional role and, I'm an alpha male, and really take the time to think how we've set people back for us to be the heads. No matter how it plays out in Congress, the presidency, no matter how it plays out for Black women being in the workforce and still having to prove themselves and not getting paid like they're supposed to be able to deal with, well, why are you here and all these things. So it's a little bit crazy. And I just wish, and if black men are listening, or men are listening, period, I just wish that we would be more appreciative of what a woman goes through in her day to day. Because clearly it might be harder. I mean, and the bad part about it is black women will profess they love on social media to black men all day, every day. But at the end of the day, we have to make a slogan that says, say her name, for us to show love without it being a cause.
Yeah, and I also think it's because a lot of, when it comes to men and women, like professing love is not a masculine thing. You know, you might, and let me say this, growing up, my dad I never heard my dad tell my mom that he loved her. Never. His thing was, y'all got food on the table. Y'all got lights. Y'all got a roof over your head. That's love. Like, I'm showing you.
Right.
I got you a new car. That's love. The only time I heard my dad tell my mom that he loved her was at church when he was in the pulpit. And that's because when he was giving acknowledgments to people, he forgot her name. And so he had to put it out there. I love you, or whatever. Yeah. But the thing is that sometimes it's not looked at as in like, I'm a man, I don't have to say it, I'm showing you, type thing. So now we're in a day and time where words matter.
Correct. And they hold accountability
and
power.
And so not only show me, but tell me that you love me. And so now men have to be programmed to say it.
Yeah.
You know, so, and I don't think it's just a black man thing. I think it's the men across the board. Yeah.
And that's that shift that I'm talking about that truly needs to happen. I love young people for introducing us to emotions, therapy, and more, because we have to, you know, you can either get into it or not, but don't complain about what's available and ready for you to believe in and to heal in. We're coming to almost to the end of the show, but if I might ask you, and we've talked about so much, I didn't really get into what I want to talk to, but it's been so cool throughout your life. Is there anything that you can say that points to your 3% that may have been the reason why you stand firm in who you are, reassurance? It doesn't matter if it's good, bad, or indifference, but was there a point in your life that something that's taken place and it authentically made you who you are today? It pushes you.
And I know this is not a good thing to say, but I know I'm not the only one that experienced this. Growing up, my mom was the typical what people think submissive is, and not speak up and just do whatever.
Yeah, we see it in movies.
Yes,
and all that kind of stuff.
That was her. And I would see how she was treated, and I knew that she was in a relationship but still felt lonely. And so when I would look at her, it would anger me. Even I didn't understand it as a child.
Loving basketball.
Hello? Example. Yes. Yes. I would see it as a child.
As a weakness.
Right. And it made me disrespect her when I got older, in college.
Help somebody.
And then older than that, it kind of made me resent her. And so I had this conversation with her. And because I didn't want to resent her, I love my mom. Now that's my bestie. That's my road dog, you know, now. And I had the conversation with her. I said, you're the reason why I am so vocal and, you know, don't take shit. And she was like, what do you mean? I said, because all of my life, I seen you just take shit. From my dad, from people at your job. And so she was like, I didn't know any other way to be. Because that's how my mom was with, you know, with her dad.
Right.
That's how my grandmother was with my grandfather. And so when she said that to me, it did take me down from let me stop, because she didn't know any other way.
From having that conversation, now it made sense how it endured for so long and how it was second nature without her seeing something was not offsetting, as opposed to quote unquote how it should be reciprocity,
right?
And have a voice,
right.
And more.
And with us having conversations now, she sees my point of view and she sees it. She was like, you know, and now she starts complaining. Well, your dad don't do this, you know, and all this stuff.
Oh, he and mad.
So, yeah, you know, yeah. So now it's like, you know,
I see,
yeah,
it's an awakening.
It's an awakening.
Some people need that going from traditional that generational at its worst.
Right.
You know, you have the room to grow, and it's good that she's growing, and hopefully your dad has allowed her to evolve. And you know what? You know what? But I tell you what, I would love to have a conversation with you again sometime.
Definitely,
And then,
definitely.
bring the crew on my show. You know, Sweat Talk. Sweat's still in the building. He's understanding. But I would love to have the Sweat Talk cast come on my show and just talk some stuff and extend and
that would be an experience.
More. Well, is there anybody you want to shout out? Please shout out your event company. But is there anybody you want to give a shout out to? This is your platform.
So my event company is under Finesse Trendsetter. That's my business. And then I want to shout out all educators. I want to shout out all Eastern Stars and Masons because we are big on community. We're not Illuminati. It's not Illuminati. No. Strictly believe in God.
Ruthless.
Yes. And I want to shout out my parents because if it wasn't for them, I would not be here. I wouldn't be the person that I am today. So
absolutely.
Definitely.
Well, I tell you what, I truly appreciate you coming today. I appreciate
Thank you for having me.
Oh, no problem at all. And if you understand and you feel this young lady's story, please like, subscribe, and share. I hate saying that. I feel like I'm literally whoring myself out when I say that.
No,
I made this platform
there
for you to share your story and your interests with your friends. So whether they do it or not, hopefully it helps somebody. And that's the platform that I'm building here. Just give people a voice that truly deserve to have a voice versus everything else we hear. So I truly appreciate speaking with you. I'm not gatekeeping because my hand get tired from holding the door. And we out. Appreciate you.